In this video, I'm going to show you guys what it took to get this song to 700,000 streams across all platforms. I want to stress that this was not an easy feat, and thank you so much to Augie and everyone else who was involved in this campaign. I also want to preface as well by saying that this campaign did cost about $5,000, and the results of this track were really good. It's not something you probably see across every single song. Obviously, the results that you're going to get from a track is very heavily dependent on how good that track is, and that can be subjective, right? However, in my experience, usually you will know if a track is going to take off or not, and it's very dependent on how the market basically accepts that track. Are they going to save it? Are they going to stream it multiple times? Are they going to send it to someone else that they know? And in this video, I really want to cover exactly kind of what it takes. But before we do that, let's check out the tools that we need. So number one, I am looking down at my computer here. We're using Vibrate. This is a great tool. This is something that was built basically for analytics across all platforms. So you get to track all your platforms. If I zoom out here, and I'm on the Adderall High song, by the way, you can see all of the streams. So if I do 12 months, we did the song starting back in December. So this song actually came out, if I go to Spotify for artists, the song came out on December 13th. And if I click this 12-month filter, you'll be able to zoom out and see exactly how the stream results were. Right off the bat is basically when we started ads. So the song came out on the 13th. If I go there, first release day, the first day, we got 115 streams. This was essentially what Augie was sort of carrying all by himself, right? And the reason I like Vibrate, if I go back here and I go and check out Augie's artist page, and once again, Vibrate, this is why it's so powerful. You can go and you can check. So if I go to his Spotify tab here and I scroll down, and we can kind of see more of his historic data over the last 24 months, we can see that tracking into October, November, December, right before we promoted the track, Augie was at about 11,000 monthly listeners at the time. And since then, we've been growing together and we've rocketed all the way to, I think we're at like 55,000, yeah, 55,845 as of the 18th of April, 2025, which is really, really cool. So let this be a testament to showing you that one track, basically, if well executed and marketed correctly, can jump your listeners. If we zoom out 12 months on Augie's page, you can see that before that, he was getting about anywhere from 600 to 900 listeners per day. And then once we started promoting this release, that figure went up from that number to 2,000 all the way up to 3,000, 4,000. Huge day on January 10th. We're going to touch on this later. 8,500 listeners, which is crazy. And reflection and streams as well, like that big day on January 10th, 14,900 streams. And ever since then, you can see Augie has been getting about 1,100 streams, as low as 900 streams a day. Basically now, complete change, complete 180. He's now doing 10,000 streams, where he was doing about anywhere from 7 to 10,000 streams per day. And you can see long tail, he is still doing really well, averaging 5, anywhere from the low 5s on a bad day to over 7 to 8,000 on a good day. Also, Augie's followers, since we started, as you can remember, December 13th was the release date of Adderall High, the song, and he was gaining a few followers a day, right? Some days he didn't gain any. And then after we started marketing the release across socials, and the majority, the driver, the catalyst is being meta ads, you can see his follower count has gone way up, right? He was at 2,300, and then he got to about 3,300, so about 1,000 followers over the course of about 2 months, right? So 13th to February of December rather to the 13th of February, he gained a lot of followers. Sort of tapered off as Augie and I did, a little less work. We kind of stopped running the ads around, I want to say March 6th, I believe. And then we released a few tracks. We released a song called Hustla. We just released a song called Laced Up, and we are now back at it with this Laced Up track as we found it's a winner. And I want to talk about this as well later, just because I think it's really, really important to be able to gauge how much you should be putting into a release. And we always like to think about the return on investment. We also like to think about, is this something that is worth it to keep investing in, right? You don't want to release something and then pour a bunch of money into it and not see the return, at least something that you want to break even. If you think in the lens of a record label, they are looking, or a distributor rather, that's doing a distro deal, someone like a Vidya, for example, or a Symphonic, or one of those big distributors who are, you know, doing deals, they are looking for more or less a 12 to 16 to 24 month sort of estimate for when they think they're going to break even and then return on in their license terms when they're signing music or whatnot is usually 2 to 3 to 5 years, right? So depending on how fast they think they can make their money back is when they are basically gonna go ahead and give you whatever term for whatever length. So I always like to think in that same thing. We want to think like the big guys, right? So if we're investing in a track, I really want to make sure that we're getting a break-even point and then we're ROIing after the golden number, in my opinion, is 12 to 16 months. If you can accomplish that, then you've kind of won. But I think the coolest thing, and something that is the largest indicator of how successful a song is going to be in my experience, is usually the saves. Your save rate, how many saves you're getting per day on a song. You can see Augie, just it's been incredible since we started promoting the release. We've gone from like 10 to 20 saves a day to in the hundreds, right? 300 to 500 saves. Okay, so what did we actually do? So we had the song, it's called Adderall High. And so the new way that we want to drive as much fan engagement as we possibly can is to really think about the content, what a song means. Very, very important. So the song is obviously called Adderall High. Hope I don't get flagged on YouTube for even mentioning that word. But essentially the song, in Augie's words, as we'll see later in one of the captions, was essentially this feeling that, you know, you're in an Adderall high, that nothing can bring you down, that you're incredibly focused on your goals, essentially. So when we were building content, we went to the drawing board and we said, how do we build videos, concepts, things that people would want to see that really embodied that. And so at Boost, you guys definitely know us for being the playlist guys. We have a lot of offerings for obviously curation and making sure that we can assist artists on hopefully getting them on playlists the best of our ability. However, for the higher end clients and people who are incredibly serious musicians, we run services like this as well, which is more of a one-on-one approach where, you know, we want to go to the drawing board, we want to come up with concepts. And so the easiest thing is just to think about when you're writing a song, next time you're writing a song, what does it mean? And writing that down so that you can use it for future reference. Or if you hire someone like us for marketing on a more one-on-one level, they can kind of, you know, coach you through that, and you don't have to either waste as much time, or you don't have to pay them for coming up with ideation for you. You might score an idea that everyone really, really likes and you can just try it out. All right, so now I'm in the ads manager. This is obviously the side of Meta that you may or may not have seen, but some of our best videos, some of the ones that won early on, and you can see I have a ton of ad sets, relaunches, tons of videos that we tried. A lot of them didn't work, and this is something you guys have to realize, is that you have to do a lot of testing and a lot of meaningful testing. So a lot of the videos that you create might not be winners at first, but you have to iterate on the ones that do. And when you do find one, you want to double down on that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I am going to do a follow-up video on another track from an artist called Conley, where we did exactly that. We just doubled down on the messaging that worked. It blew up on organic on TikTok, and it worked for an ad incredibly well. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this ad set. This was the first one that we really cracked, I would say, in tier 1 countries. So tier 1 countries, shout out to Andrew Southworth, by the way. Kind of learned this from him years ago, but this is a list of countries essentially that's divided up by tiers, and the tier 1 countries are the ones that everyone is trying to win in, the music markets that are the hardest to dominate. So that is the US, it's Canada, it's Australia, it's the UK, it is France, it is Germany. These are the countries that are paying out essentially the highest royalty payout, and the countries that you want to get streamed in. These are the markets that you probably can tour the best. So if I go ahead and I look at it, we got over 10,000 Hyped It Smart Link clicks. And what this is, let's go over to Hyped It, is essentially a smart link that we've used to draw people to. So when we, or send people to rather. So when people see the ad, and let's go ahead and just look at the ad really quick. I tried this one called the Character Builder. It didn't work too well. As you can see, the engagement wasn't that great, and it kind of instantly phased it out. This is an ad where Augie's trying on different clothes. We have the song in the background with the lyrics, and nobody really cared. It was a cool concept, but it didn't really work. And then we went to the drawing board and we launched and we inputted this ad, and this was the ad that did all the wonders for us. So you can see here, almost 700,000 people have actually clicked play on on this ad, which is crazy. So as you can see in the first frame, it's kind of like a Snapchat video. Augie, he's sitting there on this cool looking orange wall in a room, and it's presumed that he is in a therapy session, right? You can see therapy session, Augie, that's the artist name. And we had some Easter eggs here. We did Suffers from Insomnia, which is the title of Augie's last album. Constantly wears gray sweaters. That's Augie's kind of thing. He had a merch line of gray sweaters that he was selling a couple years ago. And then the low-key cute ASF, just a little funny thing, which people commented on in the comments of the ad, right? And it says, I hate being a therapist, bro is yapping too much. So this is coming from the therapist POV, essentially. This is the POV of the therapist, and he's like over his job, and you can see Augie's just like saying stuff, and he's like got his phone like this, right? And he's like, bro, I can't wait, probably till the shift's over, right? And the coolest thing is, then it goes into the same room, a different angle, the pro camera with the big text behind Augie. He's cut out. This is like a CapCut video. You can look up like CapCut remove BG, how to put text behind people in CapCut, and we just have the song lyrics. So the song lyrics, the most genius part, whilst by the way, the frame is like this beautiful composition, the orange, the white, the whatever, the color grading of the video, and the video slowly zooms in whilst the lyrics go. But the cool part about it is the first lyric in the song is, yeah, I feel a little stressed. So it is essentially in with this whole theme of him being in a therapy session, right? Yeah, I feel a little stressed. I feel like it's a lot to keep on my chest. When again, gonna have you down some sweat. She's in my mind, that's the reason I'm blessed. That's the reason I'm going every day for my chest. So why this video worked is that you can kind of see Augie's breaking the fourth wall as well. It's very interesting. The therapist, he continues to type on his computer whilst Augie is just going rambling at the camera. He's just yapping, and people really related to this video in particular. You kind of know what I'm saying. The type of people who are watching this video who would resonate with this video are really going to resonate with this video. The theme of the video, being in therapy, the title of the song, everything about it. If I'm in the ad set level here and I scroll down, you can see, once again, here are the countries that we targeted for this release. We have a audience size of 400 to 500 million. Usually I have seen that most campaigns do really well when the audience size is more broad, oddly enough. And unless it is a very niche style of music, then, you know, narrowing it down the best you can would work. And so Augie always is like, yeah, like I have that Mac Miller vibe about me, a skateboard vibe in Spotify. It's really that easy. I think the targeting is sort of less of the battle here, the age 18 to 55. I don't think anyone over 55 is really going to be resonating with this campaign, or the song rather. But yeah, I think the targeting is really not the biggest problem that you're going to face when you're doing this thing. It's the video, which is exactly why I want to go and analyze this video, or just sort of show you the public perception rather of how people kind of took it, what they liked about it. As you can see, the song, this is the caption that we ran with, by the way. The song stands for vulnerable confidence, staying steady on your path through the hills and obstacles, having an unwavering faith in yourself and your ability. It's a positive track. You're locked in like an Adderall high, right? You literally couldn't focus on anything else if you tried. Listen now, it's sort of corny, you know, it's a little bit cheesy, but it worked. It worked really well. People resonated with it. You told them exactly what this song is. You told them what they're getting themselves into. They clearly know it's a song, and they like Augie. They liked kind of how he presented himself. He has a look going about him. It's a well-made video. It just looks good. And so if I click this and I go to the Instagram post here, you can see the comments. So this has 13,000 likes. Crazy, right? And all of the people, shout out to everyone here who commented. You can see they said like, I love the song, great song, new favorite song, right? This is obviously what you would love to see in here. It's gonna be my summer banger, like one of my summer bangers for sure. Wouldn't be surprised if it makes my top 5 list. That's a great comment that you want to see, right? On repeat, you can see name of the song, Adderall high. People are so invested, they want to know the song. They're commenting, and other people are more than happy to share. It's like a movement, right? Saved on Spotify. These are the comments you want to highlight. These are the comments you want to post on your Instagram story. Adderall High is a great song. 32 people like that. The low-key QAF, I saw that, right? This is something that I told you that people kind of, little Easter eggs. You can plant little Easter eggs. It's like, how particular can you get with planning your video with the creative side of things? things. And this person said I saw it too. So as you can see, there are so many comments on this ad, and we launched it the day after the song came out here. Absolutely killer. So if I go back to Hyped It, you can see this is the evolution. We were driving as many people as we could a day, putting a couple $100 behind the release at its peak, and then we sort of dropped it off. I dropped it off. I wanted to see what happened. Things stayed really strong. So if I go to December 26th, you can see that things stayed pretty strong. You can see that the amount of clicks, so this is people coming off of Meta, going to the SmartLink page and clicking through to Spotify or Apple, whatever, is very consistent with Spotify. So that's pretty cool. The coolest thing here is that you can see it's pretty flat and it kind of trends down here, and then I pumped up the spend again, but the algorithm took it on January 10th. This is what you want to see. This is what you hope to see. This is where you get your save spikes. This is where people discover the song from Release Radar, from Discover Weekly, from the radio mixes, whatever. This is the most impact. So if I go to playlists and I check the last 28 days, by the way, we're crushing it in algo, doing 36,000 radio, 2,300 Discover Weekly, 2,300 mixes. If I go here to 12 months, you can see 20,000 Discover Weekly, 80,000 radio. So we've got over 100,000 streams from just the Spotify algorithm. They blessed us, and that's what you want to see, so that when you turn off your campaign, you still get streams. And that's what I see long term. You get a lot of the streams after your campaign is done. And I want to go to the location tab just to show you the countries. I like to put the big stack here of the countries that I'm most focused on. So Canada, France, Germany, UK, and of course the USA. USA was our top streamed country. So it was US, Germany, France, Canada, UK, Spain, Mexico, Australia. The songs reached everywhere, which is crazy. And I just want to show you guys the YouTube Music. So we're at 46,000 on YouTube Music as well as Apple Music. We are out here at 57,000 streams, and 13 people bought the song, 4,500 Shazams with, once again, USA, Canada. We had Japan, surprisingly, on the Apple Music. People were going to Apple Music for Japan, France, and Germany. And of course, tons of other streams on the other platforms like Amazon Music, Deezer, platforms like that. And so this is something I want to highlight as well. You can just use GPT to help you kind of figure out how to ROI on things. So I'd say the payout for this song is anywhere from, 0.00, even as low as 293 to 0.004 cents per stream, right? It's like 30 or 40% of a cent. And this is across all platforms combined. So if I just prompt GPT and I say, I have 700,000, just verify the number, streams across all platforms, at a payout of, let's just average it out. I would say I'm confident in 3.2 per stream. How much have I made so far? Then I would like to know if I get, let's just say 3,000 conservative a day, how many days until I pay back the investment of $5,000? And you can just ask it that and it'll run. So for the total earnings so far, it's saying that we've done about $2,200 so far, and it's been December, January, February, March. We're into April now, so it's been about 4 months. And days to pay back the 5,000, we'll probably pay it back in 288 days. So, not bad at all. This is in that golden ratio of 12 to 16 months like I was talking about earlier in the video. And then after that, it will most likely just be a really nice cash flowing asset going forward. However, this isn't the full story. This is conservatively, but kind of best case scenario. Let's say the streams drop to 1,500 average after 3 months. Let's see what the calculation becomes. So it might turn into about just over a year. So we're still kind of in the ratio, right? 16 months from now, which would be pretty cool. So there you have it, guys. Basically, this is how I go ahead and manage campaigns. Once again, the biggest takeaway is your creative. That's what matters the most, and that's what when we we're working with higher end clients, is we really try and hone in on, what is this track, who is it for, and what do we need to shoot and film and do to connect with potential new fans. If you guys like this video, if you found it helpful, please make sure to give us a subscribe and a like. That would be awesome. My name is Ronan. I will catch you guys in the next one.